I had an issue the other day, and it was this. Bit of a click sound. I'll try that again. Okay. So you may not have heard it on... Oh, it's doing it again. All sorts of weird stuff. So let's just switch that off. But it's a click, 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 click sound. The fuel pump would prime itself, the lights would turn on, everything is fine. Oh, she's not looking good now at the moment. So if I try and start this, it's just a constant sound, a clicking sound. So let me just switch that off. What it is, I denied that it was the battery because this is a brand new lithium battery, 4 weeks old, and its crank turnover, and this is the important part, is 290. That CCA is the crank turnover power. That's not its full charge. It's the ability the power that it has to turn over a couple of components. So the power's got to go through the relay and then into the starter motor. Oh, sorry, it's on the other side. The starter engine, and then to start the bike. So I completely denied it, and I heard this constant clicking in here, which is the starter relay. I went through the manual to try and problem solve, probably spent about 5 to 6 hours trying to problem solve, all because I didn't believe it was the battery. I had taken the battery out and charged it overnight, was 100%, put it in, and it was just constant click, click, click. Now, I put our car jump cables to this battery here. So I connected the jump cables from the car to the bike, and you would have thought it would turn it over, but for some reason it just wouldn't turn it over. So I didn't believe it was the battery. So I started shopping around for a new relay, and that was going to cost me here in Australia about $140. In America it's about 60, I found. But I'd have to wait about 4 weeks for it to arrive, or pay a lot of money. The stator was another one. The stator's in here, which charges up the battery, was another community comment that suspected it causing the issue, or having to replace this thing here, the starter engine. So what I did was I disconnected this battery, took it down to Battery World and had it tested, and the CCA, which is the cranking power, came out at 69. Now it advertises here 290. It was fully charged. It was demonstrating the 12 volts. It was showing that it was fully charged, but the CCA, which is the crank, only came out at 69, which is not enough to power up the motorbike. So I'm just going to pause this, and I'll put in a brand new battery, which is this one down here, which has a crank of about 220 odd. I'm going to stick it in, and I'll show you the difference. Very light. That's the lithium. Now, I'm not dissing SSB, but, and that could have been a copy battery, but that was rubbish. This is, so that's lithium, that's acid. So I'm just going to go ahead, because the acid one was available, put the acid one in. The new acid battery has just been dropped in, carefully, into this boulevard. Love this bike. Alright, let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Okay. Easy, just like that. Bad battery, good battery. And that's what stops the click, 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 click sound. So if you've got a click, click, click problem, charge up your battery first and give that a go, because it might not be enough power. The second issue with the battery is just be aware of the crank potential. If you've got an old battery, maybe it's lost its crank power, you can take it down to a battery shop and test it. Just make sure you take it down fully charged. Testing should be free. Even if it's 20 bucks, it's worth it because it will save the hassle of exploring all these other options that I had to go through. And that will hopefully resolve 80 to 90% of your clicking problems, because these boulevards are pretty solid. There's really no reason for the relay to go, the stator to go, and the starter motor. Those are pretty solid items in there. And this is the easiest solution. Simplest and more cost effective, I think. Alright, I hope that resolves your clicking sound. All the best.